Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Today, our guest is here, and I will say, for some of you, he may not be a new person because he came to our yoga class long ago. And I remember Madame Marwa telling about him that, oh, he is so good. So that's what it is. Now, Madame Marwa is not there. I will give you his introduction. He is yoga teacher, Reiki Master and Naturopath. He is giving his services for the last 20 years after completing his academic qualification in electronics and communication engineering, master in software and law graduation. There was a turning point at one time which changed his life totally. Now he is dedicated his life on the principles of health, ever hurt never, and love all serve all. So today's his topic is play of consciousness. I hope you all will enjoy. Uh, Mr. Sharma, the stage is yours. People are yours.
Namaste everyone. So the today topic is the play of consciousness because this is the center of consciousness and you must have so much information about the consciousness. So before going about the broad spectrum of the consciousness, the thing is that first we should know who we are. Okay, that is the basic thing and you must be knowing about these things. So what we'll do to go to the truth, because we always say that truth cannot be spoken. Because when we realize the truth, the words have the limitations and it cannot be explained. So we always use the theory of negation, that what truth is not. And finally we came to the conclusion, yes, whatever left, which is not truth, is the truth. So same thing happens that who am I? Okay. So I have just classified the I in the two aspects, the smaller I and the bigger I. So for the first half, I will just let you know that how to discuss who am I, small I, and how it is the bigger I. So to dwell on who am I, generally we say that my name is Sandeep, I am the Sandeep. Okay, so to whom I am referring. So from the yogic perspective, I will explain these things that what is our real nature. And if you know that in the different religions, in the different cultures, give the different way for the realization. Okay, the realization, what is the realization? To realize the truth. So in the realization, we say that, okay, the God realization, the self-realization, these are the words which we use about the enlightenment or the to realize something which is beyond its physical nature. So we have the different paths. So I'll just write down the path. Generally, we can classify the four paths of self-realization. First is the path of devotion. I think everyone is aware about it. Why I'm saying the path? Because generally the word is the you. You is the union. To unite something is the union. So to unite with what? We say that to unite this the smaller truth with the higher truth is the yoga. It is the union. So path of devotion, or we can say the yoga of devotion. Then we have the path of karma. Then we have the path of meditation. And then we have the path of knowledge. Are you aware of these things? We always know that the path of devotion. Almost all the religions in the world are the path of devotion. That we know there is God, who is the creator, who is the sustainer, and who is the annihilator of this universe, and everything goes into that God. And with the path of devotion, I am the servant of the God. With the love, with the affection, with the prayer, I can please the God. That is the path of devotion. We everyone know it. Doing the prayer is the path of devotion. Whatever is the reason, Christianity, Hinduism, Sikhism, Jainism, and Islam, all or the path of devotion, we pray to that infinite Almighty. That is the path of devotion, being the servant. That He is the master, I am the servant, but He is separate from me. That is the path of devotion. By totally surrendering, by praying, we can reach the higher truth. That is the one. The second is the path of karma. You must use the karma yoga. Karma is, I think, everyone know now. It's also in the English dictionary, always the Sanskrit word. The karma is the action and result of action. But that is a broader aspect about the karmas. But in this context, the path of karma is that to do anything by offering to the Almighty. Means I'm not the doer. Then we just leave the concept of doership aside. I'm just the instrument of that Almighty, and whatever is done is not done by me, but through. That is the path of karma. That I'm nothing. What I'm doing at present, it is not done by me, it is done by the God through me. That is the path of karma. Then comes the path of meditation. And the Sanskrit is called the Raja Yoga. Meditations means when we just sit quietly and we have the different techniques that how to do the meditation. We say that what is the difference between the meditation and the prayer is that when we do the prayer, God listens to us. And in the path of meditation, we listen to the God. We just get rid of all the externality, all the useless thoughts, and just become ready to listen to the God. In this, we don't have to do anything because meditation is not about becoming or doing, it is just being. So when we get rid of all these preoccupations, all the thoughts, we are just within us, then we can listen to the God. That is the path of meditation. Today we are working on the path of knowledge, that is called the Jnana Yoga. And what is the path of knowledge? Path of knowledge is to understand what is this universe, who am I, what is the concept of God. So in the path of knowledge, we have the three principles, or you can say the three steps. First thing is called the listening. Listening. Then second is the contemplating. And third is meditating. So, in the path of knowledge, there is nothing, no belief. We don't follow anything. The question comes inside, like who am I? Then listening means reading, understanding, or what other persons are saying. We are just gather the information, and we say, okay, so if someone is saying that, oh, you are not the body, we listen, you are not the mind, these things. So it is about listening and reading what our true nature is. And that is not, it doesn't stop like here. Okay, we have heard and now we should follow. No. Second is called the contemplative. That person is saying something. Is it true? How is it true? We keep on contemplating. We don't just follow blindly. Okay, that person has said, now we should follow that. No. It is written in the book, we should follow. No, nothing. We contemplating. That person is saying, oh, you are not the body. How you can say that I am not the body? We just listen. Question comes. Then we ask the question to the person. We just search all the resources that what that person saying, is it true or is it false? No, I doubt. Then you doubt, you ask the question again and again and again until you are totally satisfied. That is the second stage, listening, contemplating. Now finally all the questions were answered. Then you say yes, that's the truth. And then you dwell upon it. Up to this point, it is just the information, and then it becomes to the reality, the true knowledge. Yes, that is what my true nature is. Okay, so today we are just working on the path of knowledge. Because when we say the consciousness is the awareness. So in this, we say there is no scope of blind faith or the belief, nothing to do, and not just blindly doing the meditation. We just contemplate what is true, what is not true, and then we realize that that is the truth. In this way, we go to the final realization of the truth. So for this, we start from the ourselves. Okay, it is not that we say that there is something, we should believe in that one, and that's all. We don't know about anything, but for sure we know about one thing, that's about myself. I am it. I know myself. I am it. I'm existing. I know about myself. Okay. Before when any other things outside me is a separate thing, but first we should know who am I. So to know who am I, we have to start with our body. Okay, this is the most closer thing to us, that we have this body. So about this body, we say that this is not just a physical body. We have the 5 layers inside this. Okay. So first, we can say the 5 sheets. 5 sheets. The first, that is called the food sheet. Food sheet. Second is called the prana sheet. Third is called mental sheet. Fourth is called intellect sheet. And fifth one is called the bliss sheet. So apparently we know about the one thing, that is called the food sheet. This is the physical body. Okay, that is called the blood body. Why this food sheet? What I eat, it becomes this sheet. If I eat banana, it will become my body. If I eat apple, it will become my body. So that is why it is called the food sheet. What I eat, this body is showing that this is the food sheet. That's it. Inside it, you see we have this life force energy. We are sometimes too much energetic, sometimes less energetic. So we have this life force energy, which in Sanskrit is called prana, in Chinese is called chi, and in Japanese is called ki, like Reiki, Tai Chi, and the prana, the life force energy. So the second sheet is called the pranic sheet. That is just, it is, you can say it's not something that it is related, this is the one sheet and this is the other sheet. It is just superimposing one sheet over the other. Okay. So that is called, second is called the prana sheet. It is called pranamaya portion. Then third is called the mental sheet, mind. You know about the mind. Monkey mind is always not living in the present, not in the past, not in the present, just in the past or in the future. Okay. When we are living in the past, it is giving us the stress, depression, and if we just want to live in the future, it gives us anxiety. But still, we are hopeless about this mind unless we do something. So that is called the mental sheet, that is mind. Fourth is called the sheet of intellect. Although this is the one aspect of the other, but for the classification, we said it differently. Intellect is the, you can say, facultative aspect of the mind which decide what is good, what is wrong. In the mind, so many things are coming. Okay. Then might say, okay, let's do something. Then the other might say, no, let's not do this thing. Then intellect comes into the picture, and he said, yes, this is right, this is wrong, let's do that. So that aspect of the mind which gives the decisive power is the intellect, and that is called the intellect sheet. And then, so the fifth one is called the bliss sheet, the blissful sheet. We say that this blissful sheet is made of the ignorance. Okay. And out of these 5 sheets, We are still not this. We are beyond that, which is our true nature. Okay, we'll go into that later on. So just about the body, that is called the five sheet. Then these five sheets can other class can be classified in another way, that is called the gross body, subtle body, and causal body. The gross body is the same as the food sheet. This food what we eat, this is the what which is gross in the form, which is not, you can say, something with deeper, the thinner, the finer, that is not the gross body, which we can observe that is the gross. Okay. Then comes the subtle body. Now in the subtle body, we have, it has around 18 or the 19 components depending upon the classification and how we can divide this uh, subtle body. It consists of five pranas, then five senses of actions, then five senses of perception, then mind, intellect, ego. And some schools classify, as I said, memory also as a part of that subtle body. And the causal body is also related to the bliss seat, which is called the seat of ignorance. Again, still, I have not come to who am I. Okay. Now, the third aspect is that we have the three states of existence. That is called awakening, dreaming, and deep sleep. So, now, as I told in the beginning that it is always the concept of negation when we come to realization of the truth. One thing, anything which I can observe is not me. There is always a difference between the subject and the object. If I'm observing this pen, I'm not this pen. There is a gap. Second thing is that the observer is always the same, it's never changing, and the things around are always changing. The objects are always changing. Me, the true self, if you also observe, like since your childhood, when you were born, 2 years of the age, 10 years of age, then young 20, then 40, then 60, like that one. Body keeps on changing, but there's something inside you which has never changed. You must observe this with one inside, you can say the child or something which always remains the same, which is always observing, yes, this body has grown from the childhood to the old age, like that. So, to come to the conclusion, who am I, is which I can observe is not me. First, food sheet. I can observe my body. Yes. If I can observe my body, it means I am not the body. I can see that my whole body is aging. My body is aching. I feel pain here. Now feeling better. I can run. I can walk. I can observe all the activities, physical activities. So this body is different from me. I can observe my body. And this body keeps on changing. Two things. So it means I am not this body. One thing is clear. Why? I can observe it. Second, the thing of the observing, that is called the object, is keep on changing. So I am not the body, that's clear. Okay? Then Second is called the pranic sheet, the pranic body. I can observe that today I have no energy. It means I'm observing my pranic body that this is less today. Sometimes it is so much energetic. It's keep on changing. So that is keep on changing, and also I can observe that today I feel less energy. So this is the concept which says that you are not the prana, you are not the life force energy, because you can observe that it is something different from this. Then comes the mind. Am I the mind? No. You see, so many thoughts are coming. It's never stay at the one point. One thought, second thought, third thought, fifth thought. Thought of the, you can say, 50 years ago, if someone has hurt us, maybe thought doesn't come for the 10 years that is coming right now, that person said something to me 10 years ago. The mind keep on changing. So it means I can observe my mind. And what is mind? It is the continuous flow of the thought. That is the mind. So I am not a mind. Then intellect. Intellect is that aspect of the mind which gives the decisive power. This is right, this is wrong. But is it always the same? Sometimes we make the right decision. Sometimes we make the bad decision. And we can observe, oh, that was my bad decision. Oh, that was my great decision. It means I can observe my intellect. And if I can observe my intellect, I'm not that. It is an object. I'm the subject. Then it is called a blissful sheet. It is made of ignorance. What is ignorance? Not knowing our true nature. Attaching all these four sheets is the aspect of the bliss sheet. And you see, why say the bliss? Although our true nature is the bliss, when we come on the later part, but we considered that with these layers, I can find a bliss in this world. It's called the blissful sheets. So in these blissful sheets, we have the past impressions of many lifetimes, which when the appropriate circumstances, it get manifest itself in life after life after life after life. That is the storehouse of, or you can say the seed of all this creation. That is called a blissful sheet. So now I have observed all these things, that I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. Then who am I? Then we say that the consciousness which is working through it is me. It is my true nature, that I am the pure consciousness. And that pure consciousness is not about the mind or the intellect. That is called the objectless consciousness or objectless awareness. It is not about the awareness of anything but any object. Even there is nothing, no object, that awareness, that consciousness exists. That is me, that is our true nature. Now again, to dwell on this consciousness, we have this three body. We have explained that we are not the gross body. We don't have the subtle body. Subtle body is, as I told you, that we have the five prana, five senses of perception, five senses of actions, and then we have the mind, intellect, ego, and the memory. And the causal body is related to the bliss sheet. Now, we explain this thing, who am I, with the aspect of this three state of consciousness. And that is not the consciousness which we are talking about in the true nature. It is just about the awareness. That in the waking state, we are present in the waking state. We are aware of these things. We are aware of everything which is in this physical body. That is called the waking state. In the waking state, all the three bodies are working. The gross, subtle, and causal body. Physical body, we are doing actions, then we are thinking, we are making a decision, we have the life force energy, we have the prana, and we have this bliss, so-called bliss inside us. All these things are working in the waking state. Okay. Everything is working in the waking state, but the force behind all these things is called consciousness, is working through all these things. Then comes the dream state. In the dream state, what happens? That we create a dream world. In this dream state, only the food sheet, the gross body is not working. We are not aware of the body. All these things are working in the dream state. So what happens when there is a dream? We create everything with our mind. Okay? In the dream, we create our body, we create our mind, we create our intellect, we create our life personality, and we create the whole universe. So in this, all the things are working. But still the one thing is common. In the waking state, all these seeds are there. But if the real thing is the consciousness, because which we are aware about these things. And the dream state, the gross body is not working, the certain causal body is working. But how we become aware of this thing? Because we are the consciousness. And in the deep sleep, what happens? In the deep sleep, neither the food sheet is working, neither the prana, the mental, the intellect, or the bliss sheet is happening. Gross and subtle bodies are just in the dormant form, and only the causal body is working in the deep sleep. Then we say that also in the deep sleep there is a consciousness through which we are aware that we are the deep sleep. We say that deep sleep is not the absence of consciousness. It is the consciousness of the absence. It is the awareness of the absence. We can't say that in the deep sleep nothing is working. When we have a very sound sleep, when we wake up, then we say, what a wonderful sleep we had. It means there is something who is observing that wonder. That is called the consciousness. So the consciousness is working to all the waking, dreaming, and the deep sleep state through which we understand yes, there is bliss of the deep sleep. Now, the real concept is that we say that all these three things are not our true nature. All these things are not our true nature. Our true nature is beyond that. So I would like to share the one parable. There is a very beautiful story about this. That there was a king in our this one like the story in our scriptures. He was a very great king, and one day he slept at night, and then someone just knocked at the door, and he said that the enemy of this country has attacked us, and you just ran away. So he tried to fight, but he couldn't fight, and he just lost his kingdom, and the enemy king became the king of his country, and he just said, okay, you are exiled from this country. Then he was wandering with his family here and there, and no one was giving him the food because they are afraid of that tyrant king who has captured his kingdom. And finally he went to the other country, and he was seeing that there was a long queue of the beggars, and he was very hungry, and he just stand in the queue. And then when his turn come for the food was finished. Then he asked that I'm really hungry, give me food, and the leftover food was given to him. And then when he was about to eat, one bird just came and he just threw away all the food. And he just fell down here and he was crying. What happened like that one? And all of a sudden he woke up. It was his dream. So the questions was at the time he was asking, is this true or that true? He was saying that what the state of the dreaming, that he was a beggar and he was begging when he couldn't find a food, is that state true? Or this state true, he's a king and he's just living in his palace? What is the real state of myself? Is this truth or that truth? Then there comes a case when there was a saint was his guru. He came and he understood what is this. He asked his guru, "Is this true or that true?" Then the guru asked him, "When you were in the dream state, was your kingdom there? Were all the officers were there? Or was your queens were there?" He said, "No." Then he asked, "When you were in the waking state, which you're saying now, are you a beggar? Have you lost the kingdom?" He said, "No." So then he said, "Neither this truth nor that truth." He said that out of these two, nothing is the truth. But what is the truth? That you were in that state of the dreaming and you are now in this state of waking. You are the truth. All of things are the experiences which you can experience in any state. That is, he said, that is the concept. Now, we say that how we can understand that we are the consciousness. It's very simple because we are conscious of everything. How we don't need second consciousness to understand the first consciousness. Then it will go to an infinitum and finally go to the one consciousness, then we'll ask what is behind that consciousness and it will continue. Then we come to the conclusion that there is one consciousness because I'm aware of these things. So I'm the awareness, I'm the consciousness. When someone asks, what is the proof of the eye? Can I see my eye? No. Proof of the eye is to see. That means I have the eyes. I can't say that I have no tongue. Can I see? If I have a tongue, I can speak. If I have no tongue, I cannot even speak. The same thing is that we are the consciousness because we are conscious of everything. So we say that we are the conscious being. That is the concept that who am I? What is our true nature? So now what happens that after understanding that we are the consciousness? Three things, we have listened to these things. Second comes the contemplating that what I'm saying, there are so many questions are coming. And then when there is no question, then concept comes the meditation. So this is the concept of, we can say, the smaller I. That my true self is not the body, mind, intellect, nothing these things. I am the pure awareness, I am the pure consciousness. That is our true nature. So when I just say that this is the I, now the question comes. Now we have listened to all these things. There must be few questions have arisen. So before just blindly following that what the person is saying or not thinking that this person is what he's saying, if any question you can just ask me. We give you 1 minute. If you have no question, then we proceed further. So let me know if anyone have any question. No? Yes, please.
You mentioned that people and the women, I tell you a lot of people. And there was a time I never dreamt, I never, or at least I never remembered. So I guess I must have been having these. But someone told me that the consciousness, when you're in a deep sleep, goes much lower in the chakras. And that when you're dreaming, it's kind of hovering at the throat or the heart. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. But you see, we are not talking about that consciousness. What we're talking about in this body, which is working like that is called the reflected consciousness. You can say that is the part that we are going from the smaller I to the bigger I. Yes, that is true that the consciousness which we are thinking inside our body, it works at a different level according to our states, and also it's going through the different chakras. But you see, even most of the times, your energy is in the dormant state. We can say it is always in our root chakra in this dormant form. and we can awaken that energy, about those things. But about the consciousness, you can say that is a reflected consciousness, which is working at a different level in all the three states of existence. That's true. But that is the reflected consciousness. I will tell you what is the reflected and the real consciousness of a true nature. Yes, please.
Yes, if the dreaming state, it's not us. How could we explain that there are people whose dreams come true, like, how can I say, there are people who are able to, who have dreams, and the next day or next month, the dream is becoming the reality somewhere uh, close or far from.
Yeah. First thing is that yes, dream state is not us, but we are the creator of the dream. Okay. How? Because in the just I am. Okay. What happened in the dream? I become the dreamer. It's became the question. Okay. So your question was that we are how it is possible that we are not the dream, and for the some persons dreams come true maybe after 1 month or like that when they have something in their dream and it realized later on that that is happening. So about that things, first I was saying that it is not that we are not the dream. That's true, we are not the dream, but we are the creator of the dream world. Okay, I become the dream world. I become the dreamer. I become all the objects of this universe. No, nothing exists, but I am the creator of that dream world. I am creating the problem in the dream, and I am solving the problem in the dream. And when we come to the waking state, it is not that dreamer become the waker. He is already a waker, but he has become a dreamer and is creating the dream world. So when he just come out of the dream, he stays what he was before that. That is called the waker. That is the concept. Now you see how dreams come true for some person. That is altogether totally different aspect. And also if you see, uh, it can be the cases of probability. We have hundreds and thousands of the dream in our life, maybe more than that, and only 2 to 5% we remember, and out of 2 to 5%, only 1 or 2% get manifested, and we remember only those. There are so many dreams that they are not get manifested; they are not true. So first thing is that some person have the unique capabilities that they can have these things. That is the total different aspect. And other thing is that it's about the probability that for some person it's become true, and we just remember those things. You see, we say that sometimes we think so many things, and we say it get manifesting, but it's not. Only out of 1,000, only one get manifested, and we remember that, yeah, I thought that thing, but and it will get manifested. But other thoughts, 999, no. But we don't carry about those things. We don't bother about this thing. So that is the aspect. Any other question? Okay. So, but that is the concept of I. Okay. So, what does this all this information is helping us? That is the question. So, I just want to take the help of the one chart. We have a we had a very great saint, we can say Guru Swami Chinmayananda, who are from India, must be knowing about that. And he just created a very beautiful chart. It is called the BMI chart. So that is the chart for the meditative purpose and to understand our true nature. We say that we consider ourselves as a body. Okay, when we see the body, we also see these five senses and things also, through which we are taking the externality inside of us. So when we consider ourselves as a body, then we see the different objects and we become the perceiver of the objects. We perceive the things. Okay, so we become the perceiver. We forget our true nature. We just identify ourselves as a body. We see the objects and we perceive those things. When we consider ourselves as a mind, then different emotions come inside and we become the feeler. I feel sad, I feel happy. So these things come. When I consider ourselves as intellect, then thought process comes, so many thoughts come, and we become the thinker. And we all these things we suffer. Either we are a perceiver of the things, good, bad, these things, we suffer from the externality from the other person. So we say that person is giving me the pain, so much trouble, these things, we become the perceiver. And we suffer. And we consider ourselves a mind, we feel the emotions, so much sadness, so much happiness, these things, the duality happens. And we consider ourselves the intellect, thought process comes, we become the thinker. So it is said that you are not neither the body, nor the mind, nor the intellect. So when you know this, you are not a perceiver, you are not a feeler, you are not a thinker. Who you are the pure consciousness. You are the pure consciousness. So by all this knowledge, what happens that it gives us a sense of serenity, that nothing can affect me because I am not the body. The emotions are coming in my mind. Yes, I can observe my emotions, but it is not affecting me. So many thoughts are coming, but I'm not a thinker. I am the consciousness, I'm the driving force behind all these things. So it gives a sense of tranquility, peacefulness, blissfulness, happiness. That I'm not these things, nothing can affect me. So when we dwell on these things, I'm a pure consciousness, I'm a pure consciousness, I'm a pure consciousness. Then all the problems of the external world will not touch us. It gives us a sense of security that I am the pure consciousness. It is about that you see, again, a small story that Linus was just going for her. She was pregnant and he just found about heart of the sheep and due to accident he died and the small cub lion fell into the herd of the sheep and he was just growing up in the herd of the sheep and just jumping like that and he's thinking that he is a sheep. So same thing is that we are the lion, but we are in the company of the body, mind and intellect. And we are suffering, we are thinking that we are the perceiver, the feeler and thinker and all of the sorrows are coming into us. Then what happened? A lion, another lion, he was just hunting the sheep and he just came with the same part that now the lion cub has become grown little bit of the teen age and he saw that when he was just uh, going to attack the heart of the sheep, he was also making the cry like a sheep. Then he just pulled that small lion child and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm a sheep." He said, "No, come." Then he took him to a lake and showed him his true face. You are the lion. So when he just realized that he is a lion, all his worry of the sheep, all his fear has gone. So same thing is that now we understand we are not the body, mind, and intellect. We are the pure, absolute consciousness. and no fear of all these things will happen to us. We may know that the consciousness is the pure consciousness, the awareness, and what is happening to this body, mind, let it happen and just observe from the distance. It is said that leave the thing, leave the things where they belong. Pain is related to the body, that it within the body. The sadness is in the mind, let it be in the mind, but don't get affected by the condition of the body and the mind. You are the pure consciousness. When we understand things, we realize, yes, if this finger is aching, it's okay. It is in this body. I can observe this pain. Not this body. I can observe it. I am the pure consciousness. Some tension is coming in the mind. Let it be. Don't worry. Don't give much importance to it. Observe. Yes, this tension is in the mind, but I am not the mind. Observe it from the distance, and it is quite possible you will just get rid of that pain because you are not getting attached to that. You see, all this you see in this world, we get worried from the anything with which we have the attachment. First, we are most closer to our body, something happened to the body, we get worried. Then, our relatives. If something happened to them, we get worried, but to the lesser extent. If it's something happening to the neighbors, we are getting, yes, that person is in the bad condition, but is not affecting us. But it is something happening in the other part of the world. We just for the few seconds, oh, that's sad, but it is not affecting us. So that is the level of this sorrowness related directly to the attachment. If your attachment to someone too much closer, then the fear of loss will give you the much pain. It will give us the much pain. So if you're not attached to anything, then we are always in a constant state of equanimity, that nothing, no goodness, no badness, that is just the thing which are happening. It's just a playground and we are just observing these things. Yes.
You know what, that it sounds perfect, very easy to say. By putting it into practice in real life. And there has to be a method to keep reminding yourself, and bringing yourself, because you do get caught up in knowledge. You know, like you said, the finger hurts. When you feel the pain, there has to be. How to detach yourself from it and not feel it? It's very difficult.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. It is very difficult, all these things. But every good thing is very difficult. If you are going in a fish market to buy fish, you have to pay a very small amount. If you are going to a diamond shop to buy a diamond, you have to pay the heavy price. So same thing is, this aspect is not buying a fish. This aspect to buy a diamond. So we have to pay heavy price. What is the heavy price? What you are saying? Constant reminding, contemplating, meditating. I am not the body. We have to keep on reminding, regularity, persistency, consistency is required. Otherwise, you see, which is called in India, it's called Shamshan Vairagya. So you see, like if someone dies, we don't say, oh, this life is useless. Nothing. Nothing. This is, what is this world? This will go somewhere else. We have some sort of detachment. We have some sort of, you can see, the sannyasa that we say, okay, nothing in this world is good, these things. It stays for 1 day, 2 days, 1 week. Then what happens after 1 week? We just come to the daily routine. We remember that person. Yes, that was good person. We love that person, but still we keep on going these things. The detachment of that 1 day when we understand that this is nothing in this life, it's useless life, it's no use of this life, but still we keep on doing that. So we say that we have to increase that Shamshan Vairagya, that is called the detachment of the graveyard, or the detachment of the funeral place. Continue, and then we have to we detach ourselves that the pain is inevitable. Death is inevitable. Yes, that is inevitable. But again, that this thing is that just like we have given the intellect, we have to use properly. We say that I said that if I have a pain in my finger, I have to detach it. Yes, that is the concept. But again, thing is that we have to use this word that it is a pain. Then you have to see the doctor. That is not to make the sense that if I say I have a pain, I will suffer with that pain, and I will not go to the doctor. I'm the pure consciousness. That is two contradictory statements. Either we reach to that level of the consciousness that pain is not affecting us, just like there are so many saints and sages. So, but as long as we are in the process of the realization, we are not in the final stage of realization, we have to take all the tools to go to that stage and the pain doesn't affect. Because naturally we are in this body, so what is affecting us will feel that way. But we have to continuously keep on practicing that pure consciousness, the pure consciousness, the pure consciousness, and it will help you. Yeah.
Even, in the most here, but even in the Ramayana, these are uh, God levels. Okay? So when Sita had to go to to be banished by Ram, even he was saying that his emotions, like he was saying, how do humans live? The emotions, they get you. Then Sita tells him, well, if there was no emotion, there would not be beauty either.
That's true.
You have both. You have suffering, but you also have beauty. And I'm thinking if somebody like Ram can fall into that, where he's feeling pain, he needs at a God level. How do we manage it?
You see, that is his play. We say that is his play because he is in the human form. And in the human form, he has to do all the things what a human should do. The humanity in the human, the aspect of humanity includes all these things, the emotions, desires, all these things are the part of the human form. And he's in the human form, so he has to follow all these things, the emotions. Because otherwise, what will happen? We say like a ideal human, Adarsh Purush. So he has to show the ideal things not as a stone. Otherwise, we say that okay, that person has no emotions. That means that person is a stone person. Is made of the stone. No, we don't need that one. When the circumstance arises, we have to show our emotions as well. But we shouldn't carry over those emotions with us. Okay, that's the difference. Like how a saint can become angry. There is a difference. If a normal person becomes anger, he will keep on carrying that anger for years, maybe throughout the life. But if a saint is anger, he'll become anger for that particular instant or that moment, and he's not carrying forward that anger. Why? Because that person is in the human form, and these things are happens in the instance, and then he did that, and then he forget what that is. So same thing is that we are the human things, we are the human beings, general term. No, we are not saying that we are the human beings. We are the 8.4 million species. We are the consciousness. So we are in this human form. So we have to follow the rules and regulations of the human form and all the qualities of the human forms and the emotions are also included in that quality of the human. So now we have this concept that I am not the body, mind, and all these things. I am the pure consciousness. So I know that now I'm the pure consciousness. Now, then the second part is the consciousness in me is different from the consciousness in you. That is the concept. Okay. So what we do, we just push this. Now, the point which I'm talking about is based on the concept of the most famous Hindu philosophy, which is called the Advaita. Advaita means non-dual. Non-dual. It is said that this cannot be more than one consciousness. We are all one consciousness. And that one consciousness has manifested itself in the reflected form in all the things, whether animate or inanimate. This is the one consciousness. So we just give the example of the space. Okay, just take example. There is a space in this. Okay, then there is space. So what happened? That suppose this is an empty bottle, and there is space inside. Is the space inside this bottle is different from the space outside this bottle? No. There is a one space, only bottle came into the existence, and it just make a temporary division, and we say that space in the bottle is different from the space outside. And if we have the millions of bottles, we won't say that there are millions of spaces. Only one space. If this is removed, then there is a one space. Just giving the one example, like if you have your paper, is the one small paper, and it's just tear it from the center, there comes a hole in the paper. One paper, then hole in the paper. Then that hole, from where it came into existence, is the hole is the part of the paper? No, that hole is already in existence. So we say that I'm just like a hole in the paper, in it, but not made of it. Understand? This is the whole space. One paper, I just make a hole and create a space. Then I say that I am the space in the paper, but not made of the paper. So that space inside is the same space which is outside. Getting something? So we say that we are the one pure consciousness. We are manifesting itself in the different forms. Now, how is it possible? Just take an example that if there are 1,000 small containers having the water in the sun, we can say the thousands of sun in the reflected form in that container in the reflection in the water, but the sun is the one. So whatever we are saying, this is together, it is called a reflected consciousness. So we are the one unified consciousness. Whatever is happening, these are the space-time events. That consciousness manifests itself when we proper circumstances, time and space, it manifests itself. Just like you see that how it comes that when this summer starts, your spiders come, from where it comes, then they don't go into hibernation. Yes, the fruits go to the hibernation. So many, you can say the living beings go to hibernations, but it is not that the spiders go into hibernation. From where the fruit flies comes, all of a sudden everything is closed. In India, in the container, everything is closed, rice is there and the worms come out of that. From where? Are there the eggs there or they go to hibernation? No. It comes from there. The consciousness manifests itself when there is proper circumstances, proper time and space is there. So the same consciousness has manifested itself in the form of this animal, in the form of this human body, in the form of this cloth, in everywhere that is the consciousness. So these nothing except the pure consciousness. Now, I'm just talking about this on the basis of the non-duality concept. All our religions whether it's the path of Hinduism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, we have this aspect that the one God is their creator and they are separate from that and they have to pray to that. But what I'm talking about is we are the pure consciousness, there nothing exists except our consciousness. There is no two things. So we say that nothing exists except the God. When I say that it is an egoistic statement, no. Egoistic statement will happen if I say nothing except God, I am God. That is the problem. No, I don't exist. You don't exist. Only God exists. So if we say that you have to just remove the veil that there are so many things are there, nothing is there. Only the God is there. Only the pure consciousness, one unified consciousness is there. So it is giving the example that we have the very famous examples of the gold. We say that whatever is the means and forms are there, it has some utility. Okay, so three things are there in this universe: name, form, and utility. You can say three aspects through which we observe it. We say that remove this name, form, and utility, then whatever remains is the pure process. For example, I was giving the example of the gold, that we have the necklace, we have the earrings, or we have the ring, or we have the bracelets. All are made of the gold. Okay, we say that okay, remove the name, form, and utility. Name the bracelet, form circular, utility, put in your hands. Name earrings, form instructed form like that one, and utility putting in the ears. Remove the name, form, and utility. What remains is the pure gold. So the gold has manifested itself in the different forms for some particular utility. But everything is gold. Everything is gold. So when you want to use this word, you have these things: name, form, and utility. Yes. But if you want to go beyond these things, then you have to go to the real nature of these things. That every ornament, bracelet, earrings, whatever you have, these things, necklace, some things, everything is gold. So, and you want to know your true nature, you have to go beyond the name, form, and utility. And you have to know your true nature, that you are the pure consciousness. Now, what will happen with that? First, again, it will give a sort of happiness, contentment, no worry, no tension, no expectation. Because if you see something different from you, you have the expectation that I want it. Again, one small story. There was a kingdom, and some sort of play was going to happen. And in that play, they need a small girl to become a princess in the play. So there was no small girl in that. So there was the child of the play, prince. Then the director of the play made him a beautiful princess, because he was like 5-year-old boy child, and he made the princess and very beautiful these things to act in the play. And that boy was so beautiful in the form of the princess that they made a portrait at the time of that princess. And then they put up that portrait in the store, and for the 50 years no one was bothering about these things. So when that prince became 20 years old, he was just searching something, and he found a picture of the 5-year-old princess. He was 20 now old, the prince. Then he saw that portrait and he said, "What? She's so beautiful. Now she must be now 20 years old, and she must be so beautiful." And he said, "I want to marry that princess." Then he was very stressful, these things. Then one minister asked him, "What happened to you?" Then he said, "I want to marry that girl." Then that minister saw that portrait. Then what he said, he said, you are that. The princess is not separate from you. Princess is not different from you. So what happened? It is not that person become the prince become more sad. There is no desire in that. There is no difference between me and the other person. So how we can desire anything? So it gives a sort of contentment to him that there is nothing apart from me. So same thing is that when we consider that there is nothing except the pure consciousness, then we don't expect anything. And when we expect anything, two things happen. If our expectations are fulfilled, we become happy, although for a temporary time period. And if our expectations are not fulfilled, we are sad. But when we understand that there is nothing beyond us, there is no two things, everything is me, everything is pure consciousness, then we have no expectation. And we just become a contented, blissful entity. So it gives a sort of, you can say, satisfaction that first thing is that there is nothing separate from me. And if at a one level lower we understand this, there are so many entities are there, then we understand that they are not separate from me. If it will just get it off the sort of envy, jealousy. If the other person is enjoying, will understand that I am enjoying. I'm a pure consciousness. So that consciousness is the same in other person. So the same consciousness is enjoying through that entity, through that complex form of the mind-body structure. So it gives a sort of contentment, the satisfaction that nothing exists except the pure consciousness. Now, problem is that we always try to find ourselves outside. Again, small story. I always find that it's good to use the small stories to explain it better because it remains long forever. That story is called the 10-man story. There were 10 friends who were just going into the jungle and they crossed a river and then they came on the other side of the river. One person suggested, let's count that we are the 10%. So they start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He said, oh, one person is missing. Then other person also start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He said that, oh, one person is missing. They start crying. Then one person came there and asked, what happened to you? Well, to all of you, he said that we were 10 persons, but we are left only the 9. He said, oh, let me how do you count? Let me show how to count. So he said that look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then that person understand that he is not counting himself. Then the person said, okay, now count with me. Then he said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then person took his finger and said that please, you are that. This is the 10%. So same thing is that with the Advaita, the non-dualism, I say that there is nothing except the I. Okay, we are finding that we are missing ourselves and we are trying to find ourselves outside. But in the real sense, we are the 10%. Means there is nothing except them. We are losing ourselves and we are finding, searching ourselves. And when we find ourselves, we feel that we are finding self. Although we see that the path of the self-realization is just going the whole all around and coming back to ourselves. That is the path of realization. And in this journey, lot of ups and downs happen. And all these paths are really helpful to realize our true self that we are the pure consciousness. Any question? Is something get clear?
Very interesting. Very mind-boggling at the same time.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's really interesting, yes. And it gives us satisfaction that everything is within us. And you see, why we forget our true nature, that we are preconditioned by so many things. And you see, there's nothing external forces which can liberate us. We have to work on ourselves. Also, I just want to give you the one small story that when a camel man, he was taking his camel man from the one city to the other city, and when he go to the other city, always tie the camel to the from the tree or like that one, and then do his all the chores, and he come back and untie the camel, and he go back to his home. So one day he was going with the camel, and he forgot the rope to tie the camel. Then when he went to the other city and he could tie that person, then he said, what should I do? Then someone suggested him that what you were doing in the past, do the same thing with the camel, it will help. So every time he just in the camel, he tied the rope to the camel's neck and just let him sit and just tie to the tree the rope. He just pretended to do the same thing. He has no rope. He just put do like this on the camel's neck and just pretended on the tree and let the camel sit down. Camel was set the whole day. Then the evening he came back. Then he was trying to take the camel. He was not standing up. And I said, oh, no, it's a new problem. What should I do? Because he said, if there is a rope, then I would have just untied it, but there is no rope. Then the same person told him, do the same thing what you were doing before. He's just pretending, untying the rope from the camel neck, untying the rope from the tree, and making the sound, and the camel stand up. So that is the same situation ourselves. We have bind ourselves. We think that we are bound by so many things, the body, mind, integrity, these things. And we always feel that there is someone will come who will liberate us. That someone will untie the rope. But there is no one who will do that. We have to just understand that we are born free, means we are the pure consciousness, which is absolute, which is indivisible, which is infinite like a space, and that infinite consciousness is me, is everything. Remove all the names and forms and the utility, whatever remains is the pure consciousness. We are that. And now, how that question comes, and no question should come from that side, but I know that these questions generally come. That then, how this concept of birth after birth, birth after that, how it is come? It is with the attachment with all these things. We say that at the time of death, only the food sheet get away. That is the gross body. Whatever goes with us is all these the 18 elements, 5 senses of perception, 5 senses of actions in the subtle form, 5 prana, mind, intellect, ego, and the memories. So these just go on, and these take birth again and again and again according to our subtle desires, which we call in the Sanskrit the Vatnas, that if we want something, if you don't fulfill that one in this life, then we'll manifest ourselves in the other life to fulfill our desire. So this will continue until and unless we understand our true nature. Because as a consciousness, we don't suffer, but as an ego entity, we suffer. And we consider ourselves as a body, mind, intellect, then we suffer. When we consider ourselves as a body, we have this sense of doership. I do, I do, I do, I do. And when say I do, if I do good things, I'll get the good result. If I do the bad things, I do the bad result. If I consider ourselves as a mind, I say I enjoy. So enjoyship comes. So if I enjoy the good things, it's okay. If I enjoy bad things, then we have to suffer. So when we say that I do, I enjoy, we are suffering. But when we say I don't do anything, when there is no doer, who will suffer? No one will suffer. When doer doesn't exist. So we have to get rid the concept of doership. I don't do anything. Whatever is, it is being done through me. So when there is no doership, there is no suffering. So how we can get rid of the concept of doership? Just understanding our true nature, I am not these things, I am the pure absolute consciousness. Everything is consciousness, one consciousness, individual consciousness, and consciousness is doing the play by these infinite words. That is called the play of consciousness. So from my side, it's finished. If any question, you can ask me. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sandeep Sharma. I understood very nicely that what we can see is not me. Yes. Yeah, I understood. As a tradition, we give to the guest speaker, Ganesh Saxena Family Foundation.
Thank you very much. Thank you.